Hello, 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 family. Boy, we've got a lot to talk about.
And you ain't black.
What's happening? What's happening? This lovely Money Monday. We're all back to the work week, but we have to stay optimistic, don't we? Anyways, how are you all? How you all doing today? I'll give you all a second to come on board. Come on in. Let me know where you're calling from. Put in the chat. Thank you, thank you, thank you. As you enter the room, please, I'm going to ask you to hit the like button, share, 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 and don't forget to subscribe. Please do not forget to subscribe because this is going to be, yeah, this one right here might get me canceled, but hey, it's over. It's all over. Might get me canceled, but hey, sometimes, look, if you're going to go out swinging. Hey, 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 Nanners, what's happening? Emily from Albuquerque, what's up? We got Jason in the house, Kendra in the house. All right, come on, guys, let's do it. Let's do it. Oh my goodness, more people than usual tonight. All right, got some unfamiliar faces here. What's up, guys? Just as you enter, just shout out where you're calling from. Give you a shout out. Let's catch our bearings here. All right, we got Marianne. Hello, Marianne. Leanne. Hello. Nikki, what's happening? What's happening? All right, guys. Terrell, what's up? What's up? Oh, guys. Well, like I said, this might be a little bit controversial, So I will say this for the faint of heart, you might want to exit stage left, right? Actually, give me 1 second. Just to make sure I got all the right sound effects for tonight because it's not going to be pretty. All right, here we go. So I'm going to have my buddy here. He's going to join me. I'm not sure if he's stationary, but we shall see. So guys, give my friend Chris a warm welcome. I affectionately call him Barris. That's his last name is Harris, but don't ask. I got really weird nicknames for my friends sometimes, but oh my gosh, he was just in, then he popped out. All right, so he'll be back. All right, in the meantime, until he gets back here, we'll just keep shouting you guys out. Miss Debbie, what's happening? Ronnie, what's up? Dan, all right, there he is. All right, Jenny, come on, guys. This is what I love. That's what I love. Come on home. Let's get unwoke. Let's unwoke. Let's unwoke the nation now. All right, there he is. All right, guys, give a warm welcome to my buddy Chris here. Let me go ahead and make sure I got my sound effects all queued up. All right, here he is. Come on in here, Chris. What's going on, friend?
What's up? I'm working, so don't be mad at the movement of the camera, man. Just bear with me, please.
Is this not? It's not a good time, huh?
I mean, like I told you, I'm multitasking. Don't be mad at the fact that I'm doing what you can't do.
Okay. All right. Well, Chris, tonight's topic, I'm not sure if you had a chance to check out the thumbnail, man, but we are going to talk a little bit about why promiscuity is bad. It's a bad bet for women. Unfortunately, feminism has come along and convinced a lot of women today that, hey, you can be just like men. Get on out there and ride that carousel. Get on out there and just, oh gosh, come on, Chris. I'm not sure if this is gonna work, man. Hey, Bertie, how you doing? Jennifer, what's up? What's up? Debbie's in the house. What's up? What's up? Hey, Chris, look, how about this, man? I'm gonna give you 15 minutes to situate whatever you got going on over there, and just chime back in, okay?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, can you hear me?
You. Yeah, I muted my mic when I used the gun.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, as I was saying. Now I got some notes here, guys. I want to make sure I am as factually based as possible because I know there's going to be a bunch of snowflakes in here to say, "Oh my gosh, how could you say such things?" As a matter of fact, this is what they're going to be saying to me.
How dare you?
How dare you say such things? How dare you? You're such a misogynistic prick. But whatever. Men, we've been shamed long enough. I think we're pretty pretty numb to it all but at this point. So like I was saying, ladies and gentlemen, somewhere along the lines, when we were much, much younger, whether it was through popular culture, music, or just our learning process, we have picked up this notion that men and women are blank slate equals. Okay? And that essentially women can do the same things as men can do. Now, look, I want to point out the outliers. Because, of course, yes, are women capable of completing and fulfilling certain jobs and doing certain things that men can do? Yes, those are outliers. Okay, but we're gonna keep it in the generalities here. Okay, we're gonna keep it in the general. All right, on a balance of probabilities. In general, generally speaking, women cannot do the things that men can do, such as promiscuity. All right, Chris. Before I kind of go down through my outline, just go ahead and give us a little synopsis of what your thoughts are on this topic here, man. Uh-oh. I think he froze. Chris. Oh man. See? This is what happens when you have the Obama internet. All right, so okay. Let's see here. Yeah. Yep, that's the Obama internet, unfortunately. So, yeah, like I was saying, guys, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm just like I said, I've got some notes, so I want to make sure I'm factually based here. So, yeah, so basically the whole ordeal is if men can go out and have indiscriminate sex, why can't women? Well, unfortunately, there are some biological components to that's going to explain away all of the myths. All right. So men and women are what's the word? We are dimorphically opposite, but yet we complement each other. Okay. We're opposites, but we complement each other. That is implying that it's okay for men to be promiscuous. So see, Nikki, we're going to get into that. Hold up now. No spoiler alert. So we're going to get into it. Don't worry about it. We're going to get right into it. But one thing I will say is that, men and women, we have separate biological imperatives. Okay. We're going to get into that though. So let's touch on some of these differences. Okay. So men and women, we are different physically, neurologically, psychologically. Okay. And part of those differences is mating strategies. Okay. Women tend to look for quality while men tend to look for quantity. I'm going to say that again. Women tend to look for quality while men tend to look for quantity. Okay. It makes more sense from an evolutionary standpoint for men to ejaculate and evacuate. Pew! Okay. Now we're talking about biological evolution here. Okay. Walk with me. I don't want you guys to get triggered just yet. Slow down. All right. So throughout history, throughout evolutionary biology, this has been our mating strategies. Men reproduce, women select the best quality male, okay, for survival, provision, protection, so on, so forth. All right. A woman's mating, okay, for men, and remember, we're talking about biological evolution here. So I'm not asking you guys to apply these concepts necessarily to contemporary standards, but I just want to give you guys some background in case some of you might have fell asleep during, science class or history for that matter. All right. What do we say? Okay, where do we leave off? Okay. So for men, it is unlimited access to sex because the male's biological imperatives is to spread his seed. Ladies, our hardware is biologically designed differently. Okay? We are biologically designed differently. Okay? Why? Because men, our biological imperatives are to spread our seeds. Okay? And for women, there is only one cell that gets fertilized, the egg, right? Women have a higher investment cost when it comes to reproduction. Excuse me. Sorry, couldn't read my own handwriting here. Yeah, so women have a higher investment cost when it comes to reproduction. What does that mean? Higher investment cost. Well, a woman gets pregnant for 9 months. She gets knocked up with a baby. She has to raise a child that's completely helpless to being able to put food in his own mouth, his or her own mouth. Where we at? And basically to raise that baby into self-sufficiency. So that's the cost women have to incur when they get pregnant. So women have a higher threshold for finding the guy who is going to exhibit male attributes such as I listed before, protection, provision, parental investment. All right. They need the guy, the alpha male, that's going to be there to provide for her when she's in that vulnerable state, taking care of that child. Okay. That helpless child. So let's continue. What did I say? Okay. Yeah, so they have a higher investment cost when it comes to reproduction. So what have we said so far, ladies and gentlemen? The mating strategies are different. Okay. Men, we are biologically hardwired to reproduce. Women are biologically hardwired to seek out the most suitable candidate for protection, provision, and security. Okay? Yes, this is all predicated on procreation. Thank you, Rincon. Absolutely. This is all predicated on procreation. Okay? The baseline reasoning for the institution of marriage is for the forwarding and the raising of children. All right, let's get into it. So again, 9 months knocked up. That baby needs food. So, that woman's going to need child support payments. She needs support, financial support. All right. That's why women are more selective in who they choose to have a child with. Okay. Let's get into it. Where are we? All right. All right. So you guys got to understand. So in the Western civilization, we have our Judeo-Christian values, which forge the institution of marriage. Yes, good thing, great thing. I completely, wholeheartedly love it. But you got to understand. Okay. Men who actually want to stick around and be in a relationship, a monogamous relationship, are trading off their mating strategies to accommodate the woman's mating strategy. Remember, separate mating strategies here. Hey, DP, what's up, man? Glad you're here. So let's get back in here. Let's get back into this. This means a man is sacrificing his mating strategy by accommodating and consolidating to optimize that woman's mating strategy. Okay. But the stipulation is, and unfortunately, this doesn't occur in a lot of marriages, but the stipulation is the wife who that man decides to stay with and to live with and to place his biological imperatives on the shelf for, the wife is supposed to give that man sex. Okay? She is supposed to give that man sex because instinctually she know, oh my gosh, this man was biologically designed to go and procreate as much as possible, but instead he decided to instead he decided to accommodate me by adopting these Christian values and being disciplined and taking care of his family and being a stand-up guy. But look, do we get any sort of acknowledgement for that, gentlemen? I don't think so, and I don't think any of us are asking for it. But the simple fact is, it happens, ladies. It happens. So let's get back here. All right, where are we at? Okay, so from an evolutionary standpoint, men have always been obsessive compulsive about paternity. Okay, I'm gonna say that again. Men have always had to be obsessively compulsive concerning paternity. Oh, why are we talking about paternity? Well, let's tie it back into the topic of at hand. If you're dealing with a promiscuous woman, you cannot assure paternity. Let me hit the smack button for that. Oh man, I'm knock my mic off. Okay. All right. Make sure you guys can still hear me. All right. Cool. So that's okay. So that's where we are. Where are we? All right. Where are we? So the cardinal rule of mating strategy for sex to optimize their mating strategies, the other one has to compromise or abandon it, which is most of the time it's the men. Because, what does society tell us? Man, you have to reframe yourself. You have to be the stand-up guy. You have to show some discipline. You got to be this and that and that. And so many requirements for the man, when all along the woman, they can remain totally aloof to what it actually take for men to even get in a position to get that woman. Oh yeah, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going there. I can tell you right now, women today have the slightest clue about what it actually takes, what the mating strategy is comprised of when it comes to a man actually pursuing a woman. There can be an excuse for fault for both parties. Well, look, I'm not listen. Everything that I'm presenting tonight is all for educational purposes. Okay. I just want us to have a objective understanding about the biological nature in both male and female mating strategies. Okay. So even if we have DNA testing, a man's evolutionary psychology, or his lizard brain, his hindbrain, still says that if a woman is promiscuous, okay, and she's the town floozy, and everyone's gotten a piece of her, how the heck can that man assure paternity? No. Not gonna happen. Good save. Leave me alone, Kazzy. Leave me alone. Yes, Carmina, this is absolutely educational. You want to know why? Because for the better half of a century, the propaganda that's been pushed out is that, men and women are equal. Both men and women have the same mating strategies, and women can indiscriminately have sex with whomever they feel like it without any sort of societal repercussion. Unfortunately, that's not true. It's not true. Okay. So in conclusion, when a woman is being slut shamed or ridiculed for being a loosey goosey, this is what men are basically saying when he's slut shaming a woman. Okay. He's saying that you are a bad bet for paternity. You are a bad bet for paternity. I can't assure that if I was to have a child with you, I cannot assure that that baby will be mine because you are a loosey goosey. Well, that's the thing. Unfortunately, you're not allowed to use such pejoratives today because it's considered mansplaining or slut shaming. Stop shaming me. You're being misogynistic. Oh no, 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 no. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. So where are we? Okay. Lastly, okay, here's another biological component here. Lastly, men can separate their emotions from the sex act, from the act of sex, whereas women, because their mating strategy is they'll have to invest their emotions in the guy. They release the oxytocin. I mean, come on, guys, didn't we learn this? He's sleeping around with everybody. He's also bad for fraternity. Well, no, well, okay, come on now, Nikki. Let's be honest. Okay, let's be honest. Every child that has been born in this nation and all across the world has came from a woman's, you know what? Okay, woman control. Listen, when a man impregnates a woman, he loses all reproductive power. Okay, that woman can make the choice to kill that child, give that child up for adoption, or bring it to term. That man has virtually no say so. Absolutely no say so. Well, yeah, it absolutely okay. Well, yeah, it does take more to be a father, but listen, in this day and age, in this modern day and age, where women are being taught that they can just be as sexually liberated as possible, go have indiscriminate sex with whomever, hot girl summer, 304, city girls. You know what I'm saying? How can a man actually take a woman like that seriously? You know, if this is what she's putting out. Men and women are not the same. We are extremely, extremely, extremely different. A man that has sex with a lot of women has to bring value. Why? Because it's not easy to have sex with a bunch of women. Let me give you guys a few fun facts here. 1 in 3 men between the ages of 18 to 30 years old are virgins. Did you guys know that? Actually, take a second if you don't believe me to fact check me. Fact check me right now. 1 in 3 men between the ages of 18 and 30 years old are a virgin and or is either a virgin or has not had sex within a year. Practically 95% of all men are invisible to women. Practically 95% of all men are invisible to women. Why is that? It's because I said before, women's mating strategies. Now, if you're an average Joe working at CVS, okay, you think the hot girl's checking for him? If you're working at Burger King, you think she's looking his way? Oh, no. The demand has been pushed up. Hypergamy is more pronounced than ever before. You took seriously to take off your pants. I'm not sure what that means. You guys, you guys are blowing me away. Hold up. All right. Yeah. So I'm gonna say this again, and like I said, I'm gonna get a lot of backlash from this, but I don't care because it's the truth. Okay. Men and women are not the same. We are extremely different. A man who has sex with a lot of women has to bring value. Okay? Think about it. Rappers, athletes, all of these men, they are the top tier men, and women fawn after these men. They're in the VIP selections. They are, these guys are flooded with women. Okay? These are the type of men women are seeking after because the demand has been pushed up like ever before. Because now that women have, they're working, they're making more money, and some occupations outpacing men financially. Okay, women date up. So if they're outpacing men financially, the average man in this country, the black man makes $41,000 a year. The average white man makes $52,000 a year. Okay, and if a woman is making $75,000 a year, do you think she's looking down? No, 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 no. She's not. Okay. Okay, so if a king marries a peasant, she becomes a queen. But a queen will never look a peasant's way. Remember that. A queen will never look a peasant's way. I'm going to give you guys some more numbers on why it's such a bad bet to marry a promiscuous woman. It's a bad bet. Now, real quick, though, I do want to say this. Okay. Ladies, I'm going to give guys some insight to what a man's biggest, darkest, deepest fear is, okay? One of the scariest things, the most petrifying things that can happen to a man is for that man to have raised a child for 18 years to one day find out that is not his child. That is the most petrifying, terrifying experience that a man could ever feel. Okay? Just like some, women have the fear of being dragged down a dark alley and assaulted and things like that. Our fear is to have raised a child for 18 damn years and to find out that the child is not ours. Yeah, that hurts. So this is another reason why men have to be extremely intelligent and have very acute, has to be very acutely aware of the social cues of a promiscuous woman. And thank God, I really thank God that nowadays, a lot of these lot lizards out here today, they're blatantly obvious that, they're pretty out. They're really out in the open with it, They're not hiding it. It's the way they dress, the way they talk, their mannerisms. So, guys, come on. You got to be intellectually savvy when dealing with some of these women. And unfortunately, ladies, you got to understand that there's a difference between sexual attention and relationship attention. Let me say that one more time. Ladies, there is a difference between sexual attention and relationship attention. Do not confuse the two, okay? First and foremost, a man will practically tell you anything to get in your pants, okay? Okay, why is that? We just went over all this. That's the man's mating strategy. A man will look. That is our biological imperatives, is to get as many women as possible. Now, look, I'm not advocating that. Anybody's on here that's trying to take my words out of context and misconstrue what I'm saying. Okay, do whatever you feel. Okay, but that's not what I'm advocating. I'm simply just presenting the information. Do with it what you may. All right. Now, what I'm saying is, back again, there's a difference between sexual attention and relationship attention. Just because you can attract a guy or have sex with a guy doesn't mean that you're worthy of having that man's last name, ladies. Okay? The game is, after a woman has had sex with the man, which, by the way, is a very, very, very low threshold for a woman, because getting sex from men is pretty easy for women, right? So again, the game for women is to retain the men after you've had the sexual relation. That's the game. You have to retain the man, bring value to that man. Sex is very fleeting, okay? I mean, it's a very important component of a relationship nonetheless, but if that's all you have to offer, you're going to be reduced to, you know, fun girl. Look, like I said, I'm probably going to get blasted for this, but whatever. Whatever. So, guys, look, I know you guys are really probably done with me rambling and bloviating here. So, I'm going to play some videos because, of course, I have to present the evidence so you guys can see it. And she says, okay, come on, it goes both ways. What do you mean it goes both ways? We just broke down the science, darling. We went down the evolutionary biology. You've got to specify what exactly are you referring to. Are you saying that women can have indiscriminate sex with multiple men? Okay. Oh, another fun fact. Oh, damn, I didn't even go over the stats here. So really quick, guys, just some numbers to throw out there. 50% of marriages end in divorce. 80% of divorces are filed by women. Men pay 90% of alimony that's paid out. Okay? And make matters worse, men lose most of the child custody battles 90% of the time. Okay? Now, ladies, if this doesn't apply, let it fly. But I promise you, if we don't start leveling the playing field, if we're just going to keep turning a blind eye to the pure and utter havoc that feminism has wreaked upon the feeble, innocent minds of our women, if we're just going to whistle past the grave like, oh, everything's fine here. Okay, Carmina, you got to tell me exactly what are you disputing, darling? Tell me specifically what it is that you are disputing about what I'm saying, and then I can follow up with you. But in the meantime, in between time, I want to play these videos here. And you guys be the judge. Let me know what you think. Because unfortunately, these are unflattering truths. And they have to be said. And I am not shirking the blame away from men. Men are just as culpable. I mean, we've got some, to be fair, again, most men, it's very difficult for most men to attain sex today. Okay? Because in the land of the gynocentric societal order, in a predominantly led society, in a very woke society, unfortunately, men were second-class citizens. And, a lot of women today are looking down on men as if they are superior. It's called excessive hubris. No, I'm not saying that men have an oh gosh. You're basically saying that men have an excuse to be promiscuous. No, I'm not saying that men have an excuse to be promiscuous. I'm saying that women incur a greater risk by being promiscuous. Last I checked, I mean, depends on who you ask in Congress, but the last time I checked, men can't have children. Okay? Yes, listen, I am a Christian. I believe this. But you got to understand. Hold up. I'm bringing all of this to bear because of the notion that women can be sexually liberated and have indiscriminate sex with whomever they like. Okay? No, that is a lie. That is a feminist lie. And unfortunately, a lot of our women have bought into it hook, line, and sinker. That's what I'm saying. We can't even have this discussion because you guys are so hyper focused on, well, what about the men? What about the men? That's called whataboutism. Just because it's the woman just because it's the woman that carried the baby when it comes to having sex, just because it's the, I'm not sure what you, okay. Yes, I'm saying women incur the consequences. They bear the brunt because they are the ones who ultimately have to bear the responsibility of caring for the child. So wouldn't it behoove women to make informative decisions as opposed to buying hook, line, and sinker into this feminist lie where you can get out there and you can just, ride the pogo stick for as long as possible. No, I'm not. I'm having a conversation about promiscuity pertaining to women, and you guys are shifting the goalposts here. I mean, we can talk about the men. I can have an entire discussion about the men. But ladies and gentlemen, let me just speak specifically to the black community. Okay, since we want to talk about the men, 50% of 52% of black men are single and childless. Okay, let's put that out there. Secondly, 30% of black men are married. Let's throw that out there. 80%, 70 to 80% of the children are being born out of wedlock. Let's just throw that out there. So what are we saying, Neil? We are simply saying that the lion's share of the children are being born by 20% or less of the men. Okay? The lion's share of children are being produced by 20% or less of the men. And again, it's extremely difficult for a man to get sex today because women are extremely selective in who they decide to lay with because of the biological components that we discussed earlier, ladies and gentlemen. A woman knows that her value is intrinsically tied to her chastity and her purity. Okay? She knows this. That's why you ask a woman, hey, I mean, look, I'm just going to be honest, but a woman is reluctant to kind of divulge how many men she slept with because she knows that to some degree, she knows that she may get judged. She may be judged for however X amount of men she slept with. She knows that, hey, my value is intrinsically tied to my purity and my chastity and my fertility, my youth, so on and so forth. But again, the women bear the brunt of the responsibilities. Therefore, it is more incumbent of that woman to be extremely intelligent and aware of what she's getting herself into. Seriously. No, oh my gosh, you guys, I'm bloviating again. Let's go ahead and get some of these videos so you guys can see it for your own two eyes, with your own two eyes. So I'm just not out here making stuff up. Here we go. There we go. All right, check this out. All right, you guys don't believe me? Here, watch it for yourself. This is what women are saying today. And then I want you to correlate everything I just discussed to what you see in this video. Since I'm the bad guy for calling this type of behavior out, which I get it. I mean, I get it. Society doesn't punish women for bad decisions. As a matter of fact, women are safeguarded from even being shamed for such behavior. That's why, you guys are coming at me. When all I'm simply doing is pointing out the facts and stating that why it's more important for a woman to really forego this whole H phase. All right. And you guys know what I'm referring to. Here we go. Sorry about that. Oops. There you go. Oh, disclaimer. Sorry. Disclaimer, guys. I tried to take as many curse words as I could out. Forgive me. Yeah. So, trigger alert.
Multiple people At a time, like I don't mean like
At
in
a
week,
time, like a train?
No. I don't mean like in a week's time. I mean like you just your sex count is big.
I wouldn't say like you fucking multiple niggas. I would just be like you're doing whatever the fuck you want. Like you're not tied down to nobody. You don't have no commitment. You're not in no relationship. If you want to have sex, you go have sex. To go through a hoe phase, you gotta have meaningless sex because that's what your hoe phase is. You not hoeing committedly or whatever the fuck. What am I trying to say? You not committed to one person if you hoeing. Like, yeah, that's the only thing you committed to is this motherfucking game. You can have meaningless sex. Anybody can have meaningless sex. I kid you not.
Okay.
Anybody can do it. Yeah. But people be thinking about the wrong people because they be thinking about the one person that they got a crush on or the one person they've been thinking about all this time cannot have meaningless sex. No, obviously not with that person, nigga.
You like him.
Yeah, no.
You can't have sex.
Not with somebody you have feelings for, not with somebody that you really actually want to be with or somebody that you were with before. No, you can't have meaningless sex with that nigga. Or female, whatever, girl.
Whatever.
But if somebody was like, I'll run you $1 million racks, just fuck such and such. Somebody you know, not no random ass nigga. Just fuck such and such.
Someone said, I'll give you $1 million to this person.
Yes!
Oh, really quick, Carmina. I want you to go check out this fact, but over 37% of all abortions are done by women who gross annually, I think it's like $50,000 to $100,000 a year, between the ages of 30 to I think it's like 45, 30 to 40 years old, or it might be younger. But look that stat up. I might be butchering the stat, but yeah, 37% of abortions are had by women who gross an annually $50,000 plus a year. Okay. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, these women are still alone and lonely. 2 to 6 abortions, 2 to 3 baby daddies. Thank you, April. Thank you.
I mean,
and you don't have to
think about it.
You don't have to watch me. I don't have to film it. I just have to do it.
Right.
I'm not saying go that a whole phase is like you going out and just like fucking because you want to or you don't have no commitment. I'm just saying if that's what you wanted to do and you did it, you go through your little whole phase. Okay, I see you single, whatever.
Right.
Your whole phase.
Here's the thing. I've gotten this question twice. 2 different guys have asked me this too.
The only reason why I brought that stat up, Carmina, is just to highlight that it's not just these ignorant women that you see right here on the screen. There are educated professional women out here still making these very precarious choices of having indiscriminate sex. And then, unfortunately for them, they had the safeguard of having an abortion, which is despicable all in itself.
Different periods of time. They have asked me like, oh, what's your sex count? I told them, and they was like, oh, that's it. I'm thinking like, okay, should I have gone through one? But that was never my thing. Like I wasn't just having sex with everybody. For the most part, I was also in relationships for long periods of time. So there was no reason for me to be going through it. Because if I wanted to, I can just go to my significant other.
Yeah, but some people are just more exposed to it. Like some people are around, I'm not going to say like sexual. They're just hypersexualized. Like if you're in a household where it's like your parents ain't teaching you about that or you don't give a fuck, or like your mama had niggas in and out the house, whatever the case may be, maybe you feel like sex is not that big of a deal and you go out and you have sex and it's nothing to you. But then there's those other people who are like, they got purity rings and they're like saving it for marriage and they're really into church.
They're born again virgins.
I was a born again virgin.
So okay.
I mean, all you gotta do is say it, right?
Yep. Beauty. Yep. Once that beauty
born
phase.
Again, like,
born again.
I'm about to start over. Like,
as soon as you have sex,
born
right
again.
Now.
He's like, ooh, okay, not him. Born again.
Woke up, born again.
Leveraging their God-given gift, which is their beauty, which inherently is their value. Simply because that's what men are attracted to. Remember, men are the consumers of women. We want women, so the things that men look for in women should be important, particularly when it comes to a woman's sexual past. A woman seeks a man with a future. A man seeks a woman with zero past. And okay, I get it. We all have a past, but I'm talking about as far as a sexually, you know, shady, dicey past is what I'm referring to.
And open his dick was small, born again.
Your wholeness can get deleted, right?
Exactly. And when it gets deleted, you is a born again virgin.
You're still a hoe. So born again virgins, they be like, oh, you know, I'm not gonna have sex until marriage. Once I've already had sex, I don't know how y'all go back to not having sex. Like, just
I get
a
the
month's
concept.
time, like a month, like, cause you're giving yourself to God, and you're like, you know, I'm starting over. Me, on the other hand, a month's time. A month is a long time. A couple weeks is a long time. Like,
I get the concept of it, born again virgin. Now all of a sudden you want to save yourself for God. But my thing is, you was already sinning. It's like, yeah, you already been.
You said you already damaged good.
Somebody already been up in that.
I think what people are asking when it says that, like, should you go through a whole phase so you can have more experience, so that you don't end up.
Yeah, Carmina, why do you think these women went freaking berserk after Roe was struck down? Because they're like, oh my gosh, now I can't have sex indiscriminately. Oh my gosh, you're telling me I have to be more responsible now? What the hell? Why do you think they all went nuts? We took away their fail safe, their fail switch.
Cheating on somebody later because you don't know what it's like to be.
I think that's why they say it. Because I think the question comes from, if you're gonna be like settling down in a relationship, or when you get married, some people like get married and then they get into this idea like, oh my God, I should have did this, or I never had the opportunity to do
like
this.
resentment.
Yeah, so it's like, should you have gone through your whole phase before you did this? Like, that's the question.
The reason why I never went through a whole phase was because I think too much. Would I be able to date this person later? Would I have
everything?
Would I have a kid with this person?
All right, guys, I can't keep hearing these bird brains. I'm gonna move on to the next video. I mean, I'm sorry, they're not. I'm like losing brain cells listening to them. All right, here we go. Check this one out. Check this out. Like I said, you guys are getting mad at me, and I'm simply pointing out how this type of rhetoric is destructive and is dangerous to women. It's dangerous because when you're used and abused, you think you can go into the husband store, pick a husband out, and everything's just going to be peachy smooth. It doesn't work like that, unfortunately. Okay? And yes, granted, you do have your occasional beta male simp that will marry and wife these type of women. But I tell you right now, those type of women, listen. Anytime a man is subservient to a woman and he is not and the woman is in a position of leadership, she looks down upon that man and she doesn't respect him. I'm just telling you, look, if no one's ever told you that, that's the truth, okay? Women desire a man, most women desire a man to be the leadership. That is the order of God. That is the alignment. Okay, the man is supposed to be the head, the leader. And anytime the woman is in the position of leadership, I'm sorry, but she'll inevitably start to resent that man.
Ladies, if y'all want some consistent penis, don't get in a relationship. Go be a f***ing hoe. Let me tell you how when I was a hoe, I never had to go days without dick.
Look at her soul. Look at her eyes. Look at her. She's gone. She's gone. Her soul is completely she's disembodied right now. This is a soulless ghoul. Okay,
always have something on standby. Now I'm in a relationship. I can't even get a good pumping. I don't even be trying to do it every day. Maybe every 2 days. Maybe every 3 days. If that. Sometimes I go 4 days. I should never have to go more than 2 days without. If I'm in a relationship and we're living in the same house. That shit is so stupid. And yes, I'm very much crying. You know what I mean? Because I'm pissed. I don't want to be in a relationship no more. I want to go home. I miss the old days where I could just call somebody up and they just pull up and just do whatever I wanted them to.
Yeah, I know. And then when you're 50 years old and used and abused and wondering why no man wants to marry you, oh, of course, I get it. I just realized something, that she'll still get to blame the men. It's still the man's fault. Always. Always.
Now I gotta go.
Yeah, she is. She's definitely I mean, apparently she's inebriated, but I mean, she's still coherent. I mean, she's, you know.
Here with this fat fucker and watch him cry about catching a cramp because of the position I want to do.
We are all sluts. You're a slut. All these dudes behind you are sluts. Your cameraman's a slut. Your PA's a slut. And your mic's a slut.
And what
Wow.
makes you a slut?
Because I own my body. My body is not a political playground.
Women
it's not a place for
empowerment.
legislation. It's mine and it's my future. And
How old are you?
grown. Grown.
Grown. And so you sleep around with a lot of men.
No, actually, I'm a virgin.
You're a virgin?
Yeah.
So you're not a slut.
Yes, you can be a slut. Because a slut is not what you made it, Jesse. A slut is what I made it. A boss, getting money, taking the mic.
A man is not going to pay full price for a used vehicle. I'm sorry, ladies. Look, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Marrying a very promiscuous woman is analogous to buying a brand new car with high mileage. Eventually, it'll break down and it'll have problems in the long run. And you know what, ladies and gentlemen, there are also studies out there that show that it is difficult for women to pair bond with men after have had multiple sex partners. It's difficult because she's what is it called? What is that called? Spirit bond. You guys know what it is, where your spirits get, when you've laid with so many different people, it's like you're spiritually attuned to them. Yeah, but after having so many different men, it's difficult in the long run for you to pair bond with just one man. Why do you think 1 in 4 women in this country is on some form of psychiatric meds? Oh gosh. Take a breath, Neil. Soul ties. Thank you, Vicky. Soul ties. Yeah, when you're establishing soul ties with someone, multiple people, I mean, come on. And I'm not even speaking from a spiritual level. But guys, for the Christians out there, just think about how that just completely contorts and distort your spirit to sleep with multiple men. And not to mention the chemical components of it. A woman releases oxytocin. Is it oxytocin? I think that's the chemical that women release. Yeah.
Turning life around. Taking over Hollywood.
So you are still a virgin, but yet you call yourself a slut.
It wouldn't matter. I'm saying it doesn't matter if I'm a virgin. It doesn't matter what a woman's sexual history is. A slut is just a word that you and your fellow penises made. A slut. Your mama's a slut.
Oh, wow.
Your grandma's a slut.
Wow.
Everybody.
Is your mother a slut?
No, but yours is.
Your mother's not a slut?
No.
When you say every woman's a slut.
Everybody.
Well, why your mother is not a slut?
You are a slut. Not my mother in particular is not a slut, but a slut is a word for anybody who's owning their sexuality, turning up, and not letting Jesse twist their.
Wait a second, Miss Shelley. I beg to differ. Now, I'm sorry, but you might have encountered the pseudo Christians, but real, actual, authentic Christians. First of all, we don't boast. You know, we're not proud people, but you know, we have a sense of pride, and we're humble and compassionate, and we're not just out here killing people. So I'm sorry that you might have had some really bad experiences with people who profess to be Christians, but no. Those weren't the real deals, darling. I'm sorry.
Answers around.
You came up with this term slut. What was the purpose of using that word, slut?
Well, if you look in the dictionary, the definition of a slut, right? It starts out and it says a woman.
Amber Rose. Now this one right here, this demonic witch, she is the progenitor of this whole slut, taking the shame out of the word slut. Listen to this logic behind her whole ideology. It's completely insane.
And that, right? It's promiscuous, has a lot of sexual partners, but it never says a person that. It only says a woman.
I've never looked that word up, so I can't confirm or deny.
Yeah.
But it does say a
Oh,
woman.
also promiscuous as well. Promiscuous says a woman that. So what happens is that men can go out and be sexually liberated and have a bunch of women, but if a woman does it, there's all these derogatory labels that come with that, which is an extreme form of bullying for us. I embrace the derogatory labels and give women confidence.
And what do you mean by you embrace it?
Well, okay, Miss Ashley, I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news, but women control access to sex, okay? Outside of cases of rape and incest, of course, in just a regular consensual arrangement, a woman decides who she allows to let in her. Okay? Women control access to that. So you can't keep blaming it on men. Ladies, we got to take some self-accountability, okay? I told you we can have an entire segment on the men. But if any of you guys were here in the earlier part of the segment, 1 in 3 men in this country, between the ages of 18 to 30 years old, are still a virgin and or has not had sex over a year. Okay? Again, hypergamy today has been more pronounced than ever before in historical record. All right, let's continue.
I would refer to myself as a slut.
Oh.
So basically, it's really what people
My worth
think
is
about you.
defined
It's
by
not
God.
really actually what they know.
Hold up. I could care less about how society or worldly men want to define a woman's worth. My worth is defined by God, period. And there are many women with promiscuous past who became renewed in Christ and went to find a godly man. Yeah, but unfortunately, those marriages don't last long. I mean, particularly in the black community, marriages such as those last no longer than 5 years. And look at the stats. And on top of that, I am not in any type of way. Let me make this unequivocally clear to everyone that's in this chat. I am not trying to deny your humanity. I am not saying you're no lesser than a person, okay? Everyone is a person. Everyone has intrinsic value. I am talking about as far as a relationship standpoint, okay? Unfortunately, feminism is telling women to delay marriage until biology is almost against them. Feminism is telling women to get out there and have sex with multiple partners in other relationships with men that really won't benefit them for a husband. Okay? Feminism. That's what I'm attacking right now. I am utterly targeting the concept and the ideology and the insidious nature of feminism. That movement is what I'm saying. So if anybody is anybody reputing that, I mean, my points with regards to that, let me hear them. Because I think everybody's conflating, not everyone, but I think some people are conflating what I'm saying here. I'm not denying your humanity. I'm not saying you're less than a person. I'm talking about as far as a relationship standpoint. Men have standards too. Just like women. Women want a guy who's tall, strong, provider, a leader, protector, right? Are you all familiar with those preferences that women have? Okay, well, men, we have preferences as well. One of those preferences are you can't be a sloot. You can't be a floozy. Okay? Why? Because men are extremely territorial. And another reason is we ultimately will be giving you our last names. And no men want to suffer the humiliation of a woman who has that promiscuous past to come back to haunt him. All right? Jeez, please, people, don't conflate what I'm saying. I'm not talking about your humanity as a person. We all have intrinsic value as human beings. God has created us all. Got it. Not talking about that. I'm talking about from a relationship standpoint. Sheesh.
Right? So I could, I went through a divorce and then I started dating after that. And it's like, well, if going out on a date with a guy makes me a slut, then that's just what I'm going to be.
I don't think going out on a date make you a slut, but having sex with different men makes you a slut.
Well, what does it make you if you have sex with different women?
A slut maker.
A slut maker.
Hey,
Oh,
Lori.
wow.
Isn't that amazing?
No, it's sad.
But men
actually.
shouldn't do that either, though. It's not. I know that a lot of women think that
We're just having fun, Lori.
that men get away with that, right? But they really don't. A man should not be having sex with different women. It doesn't show.
Right. And actually, what my Christian beliefs teaches me is that, according to the scripture, rather it's better for a man to marry than to burn with passion. So, again, people, can I please just present the information without having to be, scrutinized for doing so? That's all I'm saying. Yeah, you heard that?
No respect to the woman.
Well,
He's
what if
just
she wants
using her for
it?
sex.
But what
I'm
if she
sorry.
wants it?
And then he should correct her. Because a woman that wants sex with different men
But what's the
is
difference
out
really
of
between
control.
a man and a woman besides the private parts, right?
Thank you, Lori.
What'd you say?
What is the difference? Well,
Yes, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to need you guys to all go to the YouTube channel and subscribe. Please drop the link in there for me, Lori. Appreciate it. And also, if you guys would love to support and donate, I think, let me see if I can drop that in here. Put my, guys want to donate, show some love. Drop my, give me 1 second, guys. I appreciate you all. Listen, I don't take anything personal. This is all just conversation. I think it's important that we can at least dialogue about these things. But you guys can't shame me for just presenting the information. I'm not going to allow that. Nobody's going to shame me because I've done the research. And if you're going to dispute me, dispute the facts. Okay? All right, here's my Zelle, guys. Let's go ahead and if you'd like to donate and show a little love, a little support, appreciate it.
we're both human, right? So if I want to have sex, I should be able to have sex when I want to have sex, and I shouldn't be labeled as anything because I'm a human being.
How would you personally define slut? How do you define it?
I define it as a derogatory word that men and women use against other women to put us down for our sexuality.
And so you want to take the shame out of that word so that when women do these things, they won't feel embarrassed by it?
But it's not about them doing these things. That's where you
this guy, Annabelle?
Comes in, right?
Now, Jesse, this is Jesse Lee Peterson. Now, this guy, he's one hell of a troll. You gotta have some thick skin to watch him. Jesse, he says some pretty provoking. He's a provocateur. I'll say that. Okay, you can always go check him out at his channel, Jesse Lee Peterson. Good guy. I watch his show, but like I said, you gotta have tough skin. You have thick skin to be able to kind of digest what he says.
So, you can be a virgin and be called a slut, right? Because it's really what people think about you. It doesn't matter actually what you do, right? So, like if you're in high school and a boy goes and makes a rumor.
Thank you, Angela. Marry before you carry. I don't understand. Why is that message such a, I don't know. It's like throwing holy water or something on people. How dare you tell me to marry before I carry? What do you mean? It's the smartest thing to do. Before you know them. Before you give yourself to the man. The black community, unfortunately, you got 80% of the children being born out of wedlock. These people are rather, some of these women would rather just have the child before marrying the guy. You would rather mix your genetic pool with a stranger instead of marrying the guy. Help me fathom that. Help me square that circle.
About you that you did this, that, and the third. It doesn't mean you actually did it. It's what people think you did. So now you're the school slut.
That's true.
So regardless, that's what I mean. You can be called a slut and not actually be a slut. It's just a derogatory word that people use to bully women, to put them down for what they either think they did or what they actually did.
Bow are my two boyfriends, and they're gonna be calling 3 o'clock in the morning. Wayne had the house number. So now, mind you, I have my kid, my husband has his kid. We have kids. And by the way, it's my house that I pay for. I pay all the bills. Everybody's dependent on me. I'm the boss bitch. Like, you don't pay for nothing.
You don't answer no phones.
Whatever, I do what the fuck I want. I remember just waking up my husband like, hey, I gotta go, I'm taking the Rover. You gotta move your car.
You couldn't move it to the street and then pull it yourself out?
No, I'm not doing all this manual labor. And then he would move the car. And then I remember one particular night, I was in my car, I was backing out of the driveway. He moved his car into the street, and then he gave me a kiss goodbye. I'm like, all right, baby, I'll see you in like 2 or 3 days.
Not 2 or 3 days?
Yes, and then I'd be gone for 2 or 3 days, and then I would go home to my husband, and he would have my dinner waiting, my bath water ran.
I want to be like Elizabeth when I grow up.
And then like a glass of wine, like walking home, I needed to drink wine. Yes, bitch, I had so much fun.
Yeah, you are right about that, Miss Rochelle. Right about that, Miss Rochelle. Necessarily raised without both parents. Yeah, I know. And the historically the trope has always been it's daddy's fault. Oh, it's daddy's fault. It's all daddy's fault why mommy's that way or why mommy is all alone. Well, I tend to look at things objectively. You know why? Because it always takes two to tango. There's always your truth. Well, sorry, take that back. Because there's no such thing as your truth. There's one truth, and that's God's truth, the objective reality. Okay? But there is always two. It takes two to tango. All right? So there's always two sides of the story, and then the actual truth. But in short, ladies and gentlemen, promiscuity is a very bad bet for women. Okay? We're not talking about men right now. It's talking specifically about women. Okay? Feminism has completely lied to women and has convinced women to get out there and to just completely diminish their value until they're later on and up in age, and they can just go on out and find a husband. But unfortunately, it doesn't work that way. Okay? You have to. I just wish things were kind of like how they were prior to 1960, you know, where our women and children would be under the leadership of the father, and then from the father would transfer. From the father would transfer to the husband, his daughter. It's just, I don't know. We got a long way to go, ladies and gentlemen. But until we start being honest with each other, and I'm going to keep on stressing it, we have to be honest. Stop getting offended because we have these very thought-provoking conversations, okay? And they may be a little bit provocative, but you guys can't be so dead set on correcting me and my tone and what I'm saying when all I'm simply doing is trying to present the information, what I'm seeing, what I've completely researched. I'm giving you guys stats. I got the studies. I tell you guys all the time, fact check me. I can send you the studies. You got my email in the link. Anything I said tonight you want to dispute, I will forward you the studies. You do the research for yourself. Independently verify it for yourself. Because that's all. Don't listen to me. I'm just a man with an opinion, right? Get out there and search out the information for yourself. But I'm telling you right now, if we don't start triaging the source and start performing surgery at the root of the problem right now, it's all going to bleed out. And yeah, it's going to be the end. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's been fun. I went 10 minutes over. I appreciate you all for tuning in. I really do. Thank you so much. Susan, Derek, April, Rochelle, Yvonne, Melinda. You guys are all great. I'm really glad you're here. Lori, thank you. Thank you, Lori. I'm glad you made it. What we got? Valerie. Got all you guys here. Too many names. But I appreciate you guys, all right? And like I always say, we are speaking truth and reality. And I promise you, we will reinstitute morality.